What if the earliest whispers of humanity were not just simple tales of survival, but profound echoes of a cosmic awareness, a deep, intricate understanding of the heavens that quietly challenges everything we thought we knew about our past? Imagine a timeline not measured in centuries, but in vast, almost unfathomable cosmic breaths. Cycles of existence stretching back into a mist-shrouded antiquity, where the stars themselves guided our ancestors in ways we are only just beginning to decipher. Consider the unsettling possibility that before our recorded history truly begins, there existed a golden thread of knowledge, woven directly from the fabric of the cosmos into the very foundations of human civilization. This hidden wisdom, subtly encoded in primeval astronomical instruments, whispered through ancient creation myths, or even etched into the very landscapes of our planet, suggests a sophisticated engagement with the universe far predating our conventional understanding. It invites a tranquil contemplation. What if humanity's true story is not a linear climb from simplicity, but a cyclical dance with the stars? A grand narrative filled with lost chapters where the boundaries between earth and sky were fluid, and cosmic secrets were commonplace. Prepared to gently question the very beginning of our timeline, as we uncover the quiet revelations of a celestial genesis that truly stretches the imagination. Chapter 1: The Star-Sealed Sanctuary, a Cosmic Chronograph Unveiled. Let's embark on a journey into the quiet depths of time, where the very fabric of history whispers secrets waiting to be gently unveiled. Our conventional understanding of the past, a narrative meticulously woven through archaeological finds and documented accounts, might just be a single thread in a much grander, more intricate tapestry. Tonight, we gently pull on one such thread, leading us not to a forgotten kingdom, but to an enigma that challenges the very concept of time itself. Consider, for a moment, the possibility of a civilization that charted stars not yet visible to the naked eye in their era, or understood cosmic cycles spanning millennia beyond their recorded existence. It's a quiet thought, perhaps, but one that opens the mind to a boundless array of untold stories. We begin our exploration in a place untouched by the hurried pace of modern life, a sanctuary rediscovered only recently, hidden deep within the ancient heart of a remote mountain range, or perhaps nestled in the silent embrace of a cavern long submerged beneath the patient waters of a forgotten sea. Imagine the hushed reverence as the first faint beams of investigative light pierced the profound darkness, revealing a chamber that had slept undisturbed for countless ages. Here, amidst the gentle settling of ancient dust, a singular, breathtaking mechanism came into view. It was unlike any clock known to us, not a device for merely counting fleeting seconds, but a cosmic chronograph, a silent orchestrator of celestial movements. This wasn't a product of rough estimations or simple observations. It was a complex arrangement of polished celestial spheres, interconnected rings, and delicate, almost ethereal indicators, all seemingly frozen in a moment of profound cosmic alignment. Its surface, perhaps crafted from a material unknown to our modern hands, shimmered with a soft, internal luminescence, casting gentle shadows across the ancient walls. We could almost feel the weight of unimaginable centuries that had passed since any living being had witnessed its quiet grandeur. The intricate artistry and impossible precision of its components hinted at a meticulous understanding of an astronomical phenomena that feels utterly out of place for what we perceive as ancient times. It wasn't merely decorative. Every line, every curve, every minute detail appeared to correspond with the precise orbital paths of stars and planets. mapping movements that occur over timescales so vast they render human lifespans infinite. This cosmic chronograph seemed to be meticulously charting the precession of equinoxes, the slow wobble of Earth's axis that takes over 25,000 years to complete, or perhaps even the grander movements of our solar system through the galaxy itself. Its very existence is a silent, profound question mark placed firmly upon the accepted timeline of human ingenuity and knowledge. It suggests a primeval understanding of cosmic time, a deep, intuitive, and perhaps technologically aided connection to the heavens that defies every conventional historical record we possess. This object, then, is not merely an archaeological find. It is a profound anomaly, a silent, intricate key designed to unlock a timeline we previously believed was beyond our grasp. It acts as a bridge between the vast, unchanging cosmos and the fleeting, often misunderstood history of our own world. This silent chronograph, ticking to the rhythm of forgotten constellations, whispers of a knowledge far predating our current records. But how could ancient peoples possess such insights, especially regarding stars whose subtle, imperceptible movements require observation over immense periods, extending far beyond a single lifetime or even the span of conventional civilizations? The secrets held within its motionless gears beckon us deeper into the tranquil, unwritten chapters of Earth's past. The Eridu Genesis, constellations and creations echoes. A soft question drifts into our thoughts tonight. What if the very first stories humanity told itself, those foundational narratives etched into ancient clay, held not just myths, but forgotten astronomical truths that quietly reshape our understanding of when and how knowledge truly began? We turn our gaze now to the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, to a text that speaks of primeval kings and a world before the Great Deluge, known as the Eridu Genesis. This isn't merely a quaint tale from a distant past. It's a profound Sumerian account, pieced together from ancient fragments that offers a cosmology far richer than often recognized. While its most famous element recounts a devastating flood, mirroring narratives found across diverse cultures, the true enigma lies in its depiction of the era before this deluge. The Eridu Genesis speaks of a time when kingship descended from heaven to the city of Eridu, establishing a lineage of rulers whose reigns stretch into an impossibly deep antiquitism described as lasting tens of thousands of years. This isn't just a simple list of names. It's a foundational blueprint for how the Sumerians perceived their world, deeply intertwined with the celestial. As we gently unravel these ancient words, consider the possibility that these descents of kingship and the vast reigns weren't just poetic exaggerations or symbolic fables. What if the Sumerians, with their remarkably advanced astronomy for the era, were encoding something more literal, or at least a different kind of understanding about time and existence? Their meticulous tracking of planetary movements and constellations suggests that the symbolic language of the Eridu Genesis, with its tales of beginnings and immense durations, could be reinterpreted through an astronomical lens. Perhaps these kings and their reigns are metaphors for colossal cosmic cycles, or the alignment of specific stars and planetary conjunctions that marked foundational moments, or even cataclysmic celestial events in Earth's deep history, long before the advent of written language as we know it. This perspective gently nudges our timeline, suggesting that humanity's self-awareness and complex societal structures might have a more direct and far older connection to celestial events than we typically acknowledge. The primeval kings, ruling for what seemed like epochs, could represent astrological ages, or the passage of vast cosmic years marked by the precession of the equinoxes, an astronomical phenomenon that takes over 25,000 years to complete. If the Sumerians possessed such an understanding of these grand cycles, then their history, as presented in the Eridu Genesis, transforms from a mere chronicle of human rule into a grander, cosmic origin story for civilization itself, firmly tying our terrestrial beginnings to the timeless dance of the heavens. This reinterpretation challenges the conventional view of ancient creation myths as primitive beliefs. Instead, they transform into potential records of profound astronomical observations, encoded within narratives that provided profound meaning and structure to their world. The descent of kingship, then, becomes a symbol of divine or cosmic wisdom imparted from the heavens, influencing the very formation of their society. This implies a continuity of celestial knowledge flowing through their foundational texts, offering a glimpse into a time when the boundary between the earthly and the cosmic was far more fluid, and understanding the stars was synonymous with understanding one's own origins. The Eridu Genesis, therefore, becomes more than just a flood story. It stands as a testament to an ancient people's deep reverence for the cosmos, and their belief that humanity's story is inextricably linked to the timeless movements of the stars. It invites us to consider if our own historical narratives are merely incomplete, lacking the cosmic dimension that ancient civilizations perhaps intrinsically understood. This gentle shift in perspective allows us to embrace a history that is not just linear, but cyclical, echoing the grand rhythms of the universe. These ancient creation stories, tied so intimately to the stars, lead us now to another enigmatic site, where the very ground beneath our feet seems to hold secrets about celestial alignments and unseen forces, echoing the profound connection between earth and sky. We prepare to drift towards a landscape where colossal stones tell a story written across the land itself, a story that only the patient eye of the cosmos can truly decipher. The plane of jars, celestial alignments of a forgotten people. Our journey through ancient cosmic knowledge now carries us eastward, from the foundational texts of Mesopotamia to a landscape cloaked in mist and mystery, where colossal stone vessels stand silent vigil in the remote uplands of Laos. Imagine, for a moment, vast fields, not of crops, but of giant, ancient jars, some standing taller than a human, weighing many tons, scattered across hundreds of sites. These aren't utilitarian containers for water or grain in the traditional sense, at least not solely. This is the plane of jars, an archaeological enigma whose purpose and creators remain largely unknown, challenging our understanding of early human habitation and complex societal organization in Southeast Asia. For centuries, local legends whispered of giants using them as drinking cups, or for holding rice wine for forgotten festivities. Modern archaeology, however, suggests a more profound, perhaps even celestial, purpose. As we gently drift through this landscape of stone, consider the meticulous effort involved in carving these monolithic vessels from solid rock, often miles from their final resting places, and then transporting them across rugged terrain. The sheer scale of this ancient endeavor hints at a sophisticated, organized society capable of grand engineering projects, far predating what conventional history often attributes to this region. But it is not just their immense size that captivates, it is their placement. While the exact function of every jar remains a puzzle, some clusters and individual jars appear to exhibit precise astronomical alignments. Researchers have noted that certain arrangements of the jars seem to correspond with solar solstices and equinoxes, or perhaps even the rising and setting points of specific constellations. This suggests that the builders of the plane of jars were not merely constructing burial sites, as one prominent theory posits, but were also keen observers of the night sky, embedding their celestial understanding into the very fabric of their landscape. What if these ancient people used these enormous stone vessels as markers in a grand terrestrial observatory, a silent calendar carved into the land itself? The position of the sun or moon, as observed through key arrangements of jars, could have signaled important agricultural timings, dictated seasonal migrations, or marked significant ceremonial periods. This deep connection to the celestial rhythm would have been crucial for survival and spiritual life in an ancient agrarian society. Such precise astronomical functionality would push back the timeline for sophisticated scientific observation and organized ritual practices by a forgotten culture in this region by thousands of years, subtly challenging our understanding of when and where complex civilizations truly began to flourish globally. The very act of carving and placing these massive jars with such celestial consideration speaks volumes about their worldview, a world where the earthly realm was intrinsically linked to the cosmic dance above. They were perhaps not just burying their dead, but symbolically connecting them to the stars, ensuring a timeless journey for the departed, or grounding celestial knowledge within the landscape for the living. The raw materials used for the jars, sandstone, granite, conglomerate, and calcified aulinite, were quarried from various locations, indicating a coordinated effort and a vast knowledge of their geological environment. The internal design of many jars, with their carefully shaped lips and often massive capacities, further adds to their enigmatic nature, suggesting a specialized function beyond simple storage. The erosion patterns on some of the oldest jars indicate they have stood sentinel for at least 2,500 years, and potentially much longer, whispering stories of an ancient people whose lives were guided by the stars and whose ingenuity allowed them to sculpt the very earth to reflect that celestial connection. This quiet evidence from the plane of jars forces us to gently expand our historical imagination, considering ancient cultures not as isolated pockets of development, but as part of a wider human story filled with unexpected capabilities and profound cosmic awareness. The mystery surrounding these jars deepens when considering the lack of definitive records from their creators, leaving us to interpret their silent messages through the lens of their monumental creations and their celestial alignments. They stand as a testament to humanity's enduring quest to understand its place within the grand cosmic order, leaving behind a legacy that continues to baffle and inspire. This profound connection between ground and sky, woven into the very fabric of ancient landscapes, gently guides our focus towards other cultures whose understanding of time itself stretches far beyond our conventional grasp, mapping cycles of existence across immense, almost unfathomable durations. The Vedic Yugas, cycles of cosmic ages and Earth's deep history. What if time, as we perceive it, is merely a fleeting moment within a grander cosmic breath, a single, soft pulse in an eternal rhythm? Our modern clocks tick in seconds, minutes, and hours, but ancient minds, perhaps, measured existence on a scale so vast it dwarfs our historical imagination. Tonight, we journey into the heart of ancient India, to a profound system of thought that speaks not of centuries or millennia, but of immense cosmic ages, cycles of time so vast they reshape our understanding of Earth's deep history and humanity's place within it. This is the concept of the Vedic Ugas. Drift with me into a philosophical landscape where time is not linear, perpetually moving forward, but beautifully cyclical, unfolding in vast epochs known as Ugas, the Satya Yuga, the Treta Yuga, the Devapara Yuga, and the Kali Yuga. These aren't just allegorical periods. Ancient Vedic texts meticulously describe their durations in terms of hundreds of thousands, even millions, of years. For instance, the Satya Yuga, often considered a golden age of virtue and cosmic harmony, is said to last 1,728,000 human years. Following this, the Treta Yuga spans 1,296,000 years, the Devapara Yuga 864,000 years, and our current age, the Kali Yuga, is a comparatively brief 432,000 years. These incredible numbers, often combined into even larger cycles, like a Maha Yuga, a great age of 4,320,000 years, present a breathtaking framework for time that challenges every conventional anthropological timeline we currently embrace. It asks us to consider if humanity, and indeed the Earth itself, has passed through countless cycles of spiritual evolution and decline, rising to pinnacles of knowledge and then receding into ages of darkness, only to begin the ascent once more. How could ancient sages, living in an era we perceive as technologically primitive, conceive of such unimaginably long durations with such precision? This sophistication hints at a profound and ancient understanding of cosmic time that is deeply interwoven with celestial mechanics. Many interpretations of the Yuga system suggest an intrinsic link to astronomical phenomena, particularly the precession of the equinoxes, that slow, majestic wobble of Earth's axis which takes approximately 25,920 years to complete one full cycle. While the direct mathematical correlation between the Yuga durations and precession cycles isn't straightforward in all ancient texts, the very concept of vast, repeating cosmic periods implies an advanced astronomical observation capability and a philosophical framework for history that transcends mere human record-keeping. It suggests that ancient Indian seers, through centuries of meticulous observation and perhaps even inherited knowledge, had charted the subtle, grand movements of the cosmos to an astonishing degree, using these celestial rhythms as the heartbeat for their historical epochs. The spiritual evolution or decline described for each yuga from an age of near-perfect virtue and direct connection to the divine in the Satya Yuga, to our current Kali Yuga, marked by discord and spiritual forgetfulness, is often portrayed as being influenced by the Earth's changing proximity or alignment with a central cosmic source, sometimes referred to as a cosmic sun or a divine center. This implies a profound interaction between the celestial environment and the very fabric of human consciousness and societal development. The Yuga system, therefore, is not just a chronological scheme. It is a cosmological clock, a vast framework for understanding the ebb and flow of cosmic energy and its influence on our planet. It challenges our linear historical narrative by presenting a cyclical model where civilizations rise and fall, knowledge flourishes and recedes, not in a simple, continuous progression, but in recurring patterns dictated by the grand cosmic dance. This perspective invites us to ponder if lost civilizations or periods of advanced knowledge, which defy our archaeological timelines, are simply remnants of previous, forgotten Ugas, grand eras whose existence has faded from our collective memory but remains encoded within these ancient temporal systems. It offers a soothing counter-narrative to the idea of inevitable progress, suggesting instead a rhythmic interplay of flourishing and decline, a grand cosmic breath that exhales civilization and then gently inhales it back into the cosmic void, only to exhale anew. The sheer antiquity and detail of the Yuga concept, without clear modern parallels or preceding observational records, poses a significant challenge to conventional anthropological timelines. It quietly suggests a much older and more cyclical view of human civilization, hinting that our current historical understanding is merely a snapshot within a far vaster, endlessly unfolding cosmic drama. These immense cosmic ages, so intricately tied to the movements of the stars, make us wonder if similar grand chronological understandings were etched into the very landscape by other ancient builders, marking time and cosmic wisdom through monumental stone in ways we are only just beginning to decipher. We now gently turn our gaze to another ancient site where stone itself becomes a silent calendar, aligning with the celestial dance to tell a story written across the earth itself. The Karnak alignments, lunar dances, and megalithic calendars. After contemplating the immense cosmic ages of the Vedic Yugas, our gaze now turns to another ancient testament to celestial knowledge, etched not into ancient texts, but into the very landscape of a windswept European coastline. What if vast arrays of monumental stones, set down thousands of years ago, weren't just simple markers, but intricate calculators of the heavens, charting cycles far more complex than we've given their builders credit for? Tonight, we journey to Brittany, France, to the enigmatic site of Karnak, where over 3,000 megalithic stones stand in silent, parallel rows stretching for miles, a silent testament to an ancient, profound connection between earth and sky. This sprawling complex, dating back to the Neolithic period, some 6,000 to 7,000 years ago, predates the pyramids of Egypt by millennia, posing a gentle but persistent challenge to our understanding of early human capabilities for generations. These enormous standing stones, known as menhirs, have puzzled observers, while their sheer scale suggests immense communal effort and sophisticated organization. Their precise purpose has remained a captivating mystery. Traditional explanations often point to religious or ceremonial functions, perhaps as burial markers, but a deeper, more intriguing possibility lies in their intricate astronomical alignments. While many ancient megalithic sites exhibit basic solar alignments, tracking the sunrise and sunset on the solstices and equinoxes, Karnak's complexity hints at something far more advanced. Imagine an ancient people not just observing the sun, but meticulously charting the intricate, subtle movements of the moon. The moon's path across the sky is notoriously complex, its rising and setting points shifting over an 18.6-year cycle. Some researchers propose that the multiple rows and clusters of stones at Karnak were designed to track this very lunar cycle with astonishing precision, effectively forming a gigantic outdoor astronomical calculator. This level of sophistication would imply not only generations of patient observation, but also a profound understanding of geometry and mathematics, far beyond what is conventionally attributed to Neolithic societies. Such a calendar, etched into the landscape, would have been invaluable for predicting tides, crucial for coastal communities reliant on the sea. The powerful tides of the Atlantic coast, influenced heavily by lunar phases, directly impact fishing, navigation, and even agricultural practices in areas affected by saltwater ingress. Therefore, a precise lunar calendar built into the very land would have been a vital tool for survival and prosperity, demonstrating a practical application of their advanced celestial knowledge. beyond mere utility, the sheer scale and deliberate placement of these stones suggest a deep reverence for these cosmic rhythms, viewing the heavens as an integral part of their daily lives and spiritual world. The careful selection and transport of stones, some weighing hundreds of tons from distant quarries, speaks to an organizational capacity and engineering prowess that challenges our perceptions of early human societies. How did they move such colossal weights? What kind of social structure could mobilize thousands of individuals for such a monumental, generations-long project? Furthermore, some theories explore even more intricate celestial correlations within the Karnak alignments. Could specific rows point to the risings and settings of particular stars or constellations that held significance in their cosmology, perhaps marking the passage of much longer cosmic cycles, echoing the yugas we just explored? The silent stones might be encoding a lost understanding of precession or tracking the visibility of certain stars over vast spans of time, acting as a cosmic timer for ages long forgotten. This level of astronomical and planning capability for Neolithic peoples demonstrates a mastery of time and celestial observation that predates assumed capabilities by thousands of years, pushing the boundaries of what we believe was possible. In prehistory, the fact that such a complex system could have been devised and maintained over millennia, without written language as we know it, suggests a different kind of knowledge transmission, perhaps oral traditions, practical training, or even an intuitive understanding passed down through direct observation and experience. The enduring mystery of Karnak serves as a gentle reminder that ancient minds were deeply astute observers of their world and their innovations, particularly in understanding the cosmos, far exceeded what our modern historical lenses often allow us to see. It invites us to consider that our timeline for human ingenuity may be artificially truncated, omitting entire eras of sophisticated understanding. From these monumental stones that mark the cosmic dance across the ancient European landscape, we now gently turn our thoughts to a single, enigmatic object, small enough to hold in one's hand, yet seemingly encapsulating an entire universe of coded information, an ancient puzzle-defying translation, holding secrets from a past we are only just beginning to contemplate. The Richard structure, Sahara's eye on the heavens. From the vast, precisely aligned stones of Karnak, which whispered of ancient lunar dances, our journey now carries us to an even grander scale of mystery, etched not by human hands into individual stones, but into the very face of our planet. What if a natural geological marvel, so immense it's best viewed from space, once served as a silent guiding beacon for an ancient people with a forgotten understanding of their world and the heavens above? Tonight, we drift to the heart of the Sahara Desert, to a mesmerizing circular feature known as the Richard structure, often simply called the Eye of the Sahara. Imagine gazing down from a great height upon a series of perfectly concentric rings, stretching nearly 50 kilometers across the otherwise featureless expanse. A breathtaking geological formation that resembles a colossal bullseye for decades. Geologists debated its origins, initially considering it an impact crater due to its striking circularity. However, further study revealed it to be a deeply eroded, domed anticline, a unique geological uplift that has been slowly exposed over millennia. Yet, its almost uncanny symmetry and sheer size, making it a prominent landmark for astronauts viewing Earth from orbit, raise intriguing questions about its potential ancient significance. Consider the possibility that this naturally occurring wonder, this truly immense eye, was not merely a geological curiosity to ancient cultures, but a vital, stationary landmark for navigation, particularly for those who might have viewed it from the skies above. In an era before modern cartography or aerial reconnaissance, such a distinctive and vast natural feature could have served as a crucial waypoint for long-distance journeys across the ancient Sahara, which, as we've explored in other narratives, was once a lush, verdant landscape supporting diverse life, but its role might have been far more profound than just terrestrial guidance. What if the concentric rings, the very pupil of this enormous eye, held celestial significance for its ancient observers? Could its precise central point, or the directions marked by its subtle inner and outer rings, have been used as a giant, naturally formed celestial observatory? An ancient people with advanced astronomical knowledge could have used its vast scale to precisely track the rising and setting points of stars, or the sun and moon at specific times of the year, similar to how megalithic structures functioned, but on a scale that dwarfs any known human-made observatory. This would suggest a lost technology that allowed for aerial perspectives, or a highly sophisticated understanding of celestial movements that enabled them to utilize such a unique, natural feature for astronomical purposes. The idea that a geological formation of this magnitude could have been actively incorporated into an ancient culture's astronomical and navigational practices challenges our conventional timeline by implying a level of sophistication in their understanding of the earth and sky, as well as their ability to interpret and utilize natural landmarks, that stretches far beyond what is typically attributed to pre-modern societies. It pushes us to consider a deeper history of human interaction with grand geographical features, seeing them not just as obstacles, but as integral parts of a vast, interconnected system of knowledge. The sheer age of the Reinterpret structure, dating back hundreds of millions of years, means it has stood as a silent witness to countless epochs, remaining a constant feature even as the Sahara transitioned from a lush savanna to an arid desert. This enduring presence would have made it an invaluable, unchanging point of reference for any ancient civilization thriving in the region, perhaps guiding them not just across the land, but through the changing seasons and the movements of the stars. It serves as a powerful reminder that the earth itself can hold profound clues to a hidden past, a testament to ancient wisdom perhaps embedded in the very land we inhabit. The mysteries of the Reinterpret structure invite us to gently question how much we truly know about the vast expanse of human history, and how much knowledge, particularly of the cosmos, might be literally ingrained in the planetary landscape itself. This immense eye-gazing at the heavens makes us wonder if hidden knowledge, far beyond our current records, also influence the subtle, almost imperceptible shifts in global geography, guiding lost voyages to unseen lands across the vast oceans. The Xenomap, Ancient Navigation to Unseen Lands. Our journey through the silent mysteries of ancient knowledge now guides us from the colossal, earthbound eye of the Sahara to the swirling mists of the northern seas, where old maps whisper of lands unseen by their supposed creators. What if cartographic documents, seemingly from a familiar historical period, actually hold clues to an understanding of geography so advanced it could only stem from a much older, lost era, hinting at navigation guided by the stars themselves across vast, uncharted oceans? Tonight, we gently unroll the enigmatic Xenomap, a document that has puzzled historians and cartographers for centuries. This map, first published in 1558, claims to be a reproduction of a chart from around 1380, supposedly created by Venetian brothers named Niccolo and Antonio Zeno. It depicts various islands and coastlines of the North Atlantic, including parts of Greenland, Iceland, and a phantom island called Frisland, which appears prominently. At first glance, it seems like a curious, if somewhat inaccurate, medieval map. However, its true intrigue lies in its surprising accuracy for certain northern landmasses, particularly parts of Greenland's coastline, which were not formally charted by European explorers until centuries after the map's supposed original creation. This anomaly gently challenges the established timelines of geographical discovery, raising a soft question: how could a 14th century map, or its 16th century reproduction, possess knowledge of lands that were, by all conventional accounts, unknown to Europeans at that time? The inconsistencies and anachronisms on the Xeno map are numerous. Frisland, for instance, has never been definitively located, and other landmasses are distorted. This has led many scholars to dismiss it as a fabrication or a work of imaginative fiction. Yet, the persistent accuracy of certain features continues to captivate those who seek deeper truths within historical anomalies. What if the Xeno map isn't entirely a fabrication, but rather a compilation of information drawn from much older, pre-existing sources? Imagine ancient navigators, perhaps from civilizations whose records are now lost to us, possessing the skills and knowledge to traverse these perilous northern waters. Their voyages would have demanded an incredibly sophisticated understanding of celestial navigation. In an era before the compass was widely and reliably used for long-distance oceanic travel, knowing the precise positions of stars, their movements across the night sky, and how those positions changed with latitude would have been absolutely crucial. These lost cartographers might have used constellations as their steadfast guides, charting courses not just by landmarks, but by the silent, unchanging cosmic markers above. The knowledge recorded on their maps, passed down through generations, or perhaps miraculously preserved, could have then found its way into later hands, like those of the Xeno brothers, who, perhaps not fully understanding the original sources, reproduced what they saw, even if it defied contemporary geographical knowledge. This suggests a deeper history of global exploration and cartography that predates the age of discovery, implying lost ancient navigation skills, fundamentally based on a profound understanding of celestial positioning. Consider the techniques these ancient mariners might have employed: observing the height of the pole star to determine latitude, charting stellar risings and settings, or utilizing sophisticated astrolabes or other lost instruments to fix their positions. The very notion that such detailed geographical information existed long before it was officially discovered forces us to reevaluate the capabilities and reach of ancient civilizations. It whispers of a time when the world was perhaps far more interconnected than we typically assume, traversed by intrepid voyagers whose knowledge of the heavens allowed them to chart paths across vast, seemingly impassable oceans. The enigma of the Xeno map, therefore, isn't just about an old piece of paper. It's about the silent challenge it poses to our linear historical timeline of discovery. It asks us to contemplate the possibility of forgotten voyages, of ancient knowledge meticulously gathered and perhaps passed down through generations, surviving only in fragmented, misunderstood forms. It hints at a continuity of advanced understanding that transcends the ebb and flow of known empires and recorded epochs. This quiet anomaly in cartography suggests that the grand narrative of human exploration might contain entire, unwritten chapters filled with journeys guided by an intimate connection to the cosmos. This unsettling precision within a map of an impossible past makes us gently wonder if entire civilizations existed in harmony with such profound celestial and geographical knowledge, only to be swallowed by immense geological upheaval, leaving behind only tantalizing hints of their advanced understanding. We now drift to contemplate the profound whispers of such an upheaval, and the ancient myths that may be echoes of a polar civilization that witnessed a different sky. The Hyperborean myth, polar civilizations and ancient stars, from the enigmatic cartography of the Xenomap, which whispered of ancient voyages to lands beyond our known timeline. We now drift into the realm of myth, where ancient stories, seemingly fantastical, might hold echoes of a truly profound and lost past. What if the legends of a utopian land, basking in perpetual sunlight beyond the northern winds, were not merely the product of poetic imagination, but distant memories of a civilization that thrived in an epoch when our very planet was tilted differently, aligning its polar regions with a forgotten celestial harmony? Tonight, we explore the ancient Greek myth of Hyperborea, a name that evokes a sense of serene, almost otherworldly existence. Described by Greek poets and historians like Pindar and Herodotus, Hyperborea was a blessed land, inhabited by a pious and exceedingly long-lived people, untouched by strife, disease, or the harsh realities of mortal life. They lived in an eternal spring, bathed in the light of a sun that never set, far beyond the chilling blasts of the north wind. This mythical paradise, placed at the very edge of the known world, hints at more than just a philosophical ideal. Its unique environmental conditions, perpetual daylight, strongly suggest a location near the Earth's pole. Now, consider the deeper interpretations of this enduring myth. Could the concept of Hyperborea point to a very ancient polar civilization? One that flourished in a time when the Earth's axis, or its tilt relative to the Sun, was significantly different from its present orientation. Our planet's axis experiences a slow, gradual wobble, known as precession. Over thousands of years, as we've discussed with the Yuga cycles. But some theories, though outside mainstream geology, propose more dramatic shifts in Earth's rotational axis, or crustal displacement in the deep past. If such a shift occurred, regions that are now frozen and uninhabitable poles could have once enjoyed temperate climates, bathed in continuous sunlight for extended periods, precisely as described in the Hyperborean myth. This would imply an entirely different geographical and astronomical configuration of our planet in a truly ancient epoch, one that fundamentally challenges conventional timelines for the emergence and thriving of complex human societies. The Hyperboreans' supposed extreme longevity also adds a layer of intrigue, perhaps symbolizing a slower passage of time, a greater harmony with cosmic rhythms, or even a different biological state within that unique environment. They were said to be devoted to Apollo, the god associated with the sun, music, and prophecy, further cementing their connection to celestial phenomena. This dedication suggests a deep, spiritual, and perhaps scientific, understanding of the very celestial mechanics that governed their endless day. The very concept of a civilization existing in such extreme northern latitudes, under conditions so distinct from our current experience, forces us to gently push the boundaries of what we deem possible in humanity's early history. It asks us to consider that ancient myths, often dismissed as mere fantasy, might contain veiled memories of geological and astronomical realities that have since faded from our common historical narrative. The consistency of details across various ancient Greek accounts of Hyperborea's location, the perpetual sunlight, the nature of its inhabitants, suggests a shared cultural memory, however distant, rather than isolated invention. Perhaps these were fragments of inherited wisdom, passed down from a much earlier, forgotten golden age, a time when humanity lived in closer alignment with the cosmos. This gentle reinterpretation of myth offers a soothing counter-narrative to a purely linear view of history, inviting us to contemplate a cyclical past where flourishing civilizations might have existed in geographically and astronomically distinct settings. It highlights how ancient stories, when approached with a curious and open mind, can offer tantalizing clues to an unwritten history, where the very celestial movements could define the conditions for life itself. If ancient myths hold such grand, forgotten histories, hinting at civilizations under different skies, then what about the silent, tangible evidence carved into the earth itself, speaking of powerful, mysterious forces that influenced ancient technology and thought? We now gently turn our thoughts to a peculiar ancient artifact, a small object that might hold a key to a completely unexpected branch of ancient knowledge. The Saqqara bird, ancient flight and celestial observation. Having pondered the enduring myth of Hyperborea and the possibility of ancient polar civilizations influenced by a different cosmic tilt, our journey now brings us back to the sands of ancient Egypt, a land ever rich with profound mysteries. What if among the countless artifacts recovered from tombs and temples, a seemingly simple wooden object holds a key to an unexpected branch of ancient knowledge, one that whispers not only of flight, but of a forgotten connection between the earth and the vast open sky above? Tonight, we gently contemplate the Saqqara bird, a curious artifact discovered in 1898 during the excavation of the Podium tomb in Saqqara, Egypt, and dating back to approximately 200 BCE, though its design might reflect much older principles. Imagine holding this small, unassuming wooden object in your hand. It measures about 6 inches long, with a wingspan of 7 inches, and possesses a bird-like body, but with a unique vertical tail fin, unlike any natural bird. For many years, it was simply classified as a ceremonial bird, perhaps a child's toy or a weather vane, and relegated to the obscurity of a museum storage box. However, its unusual aerodynamic shape has prompted a fascinating revaluation, particularly from aeronautical engineers and researchers who gently challenge its conventional interpretation. Consider, for a moment, the possibility that the Saqqara bird is not merely symbolic, but a functional model of an ancient glider or aircraft. Its wings are not flat, like a bird's. They are slightly curved, possessing an airfoil shape designed to generate lift, similar to modern aircraft wings. The unique upright tail, unlike the horizontal tail of a bird, is crucial for stability in flight. In 1971, Dr. Khalil Massaja, an Egyptian medical doctor and passionate archaeologist, along with his brother, an aeronautical engineer, conducted experiments with a replica of the Saqqara bird. They found that with a small weight added to its nose for balance, the model could indeed glide through the air with remarkable stability. This gentle revelation immediately challenges our assumptions about the technological capabilities of ancient Egyptians. While we widely acknowledge their mastery of monumental architecture, papermaking, and sophisticated medical practices, the idea of them possessing an understanding of aerodynamics, even in its most basic form, pushes the boundaries of our historical timeline. How could a culture, supposedly without knowledge of flight, create an object with such inherent aerodynamic properties? Was this an accidental discovery, or does it hint at a lost tradition of atmospheric study, perhaps inspired by their profound celestial observations? The Egyptians were meticulous observers of the heavens, charting constellations and planetary movements for religious and calendrical purposes. What if their deep fascination with the sky extended beyond mere observation to a practical, albeit rudimentary, understanding of how to navigate or interact with the air itself? Perhaps they observed the flight patterns of large soaring birds, like vultures with an analytical eye, seeking to understand the very principles that kept them aloft. Or, consider a more intriguing possibility. Could the inspiration for the bird's design stem from something seen in the heavens, something that defied conventional explanation? If ancient Egyptians witnessed anomalous, aerial phenomena, objects, or beings that moved through the sky in ways unlike natural birds could this have influenced their attempts to replicate such movements? This might seem like a grand leap, but within the realm of unsolved historical mysteries, such connections invite gentle contemplation. The Saqqara bird's very design suggests a knowledge beyond simple mimicry. It implies a conceptual understanding of lift and stability, a mastery of wind currents for mapping the sky, or for ritualistic practices that required a symbolic connection to the upper realms. It's a silent challenge to the linear progression of scientific discovery, quietly suggesting that the seeds of aerospace knowledge might have been sown far earlier than our textbooks indicate. This enigmatic bird, seemingly a playful toy, becomes a profound artifact when viewed through the lens of forgotten possibilities. It hints at skies once explored, perhaps not with mighty engines, but with a nuanced understanding of natural forces and celestial influences. The questions it poses are as light as the air it was designed to glide upon, yet as weighty as the mysteries of an unwritten past. Did ancient Egyptians truly possess a lost tradition of atmospheric study? Was this knowledge linked to their complex astronomical observations, or even to phenomena they witnessed high above them? This enigmatic bird, hinting at skies once explored, leads us now to another monumental structure, built with an astonishing precision that seems to trap the very light of the cosmos itself, a silent testament to ancient ingenuity and cosmic awareness embedded within solid rock. The Dropa stones, star chronicles from a distant past. Our journey through lost wisdom has carried us from the subtle hints of ancient flight in Egyptian artifacts to the grandeur of cosmic time marked by megalithic structures. Now we prepare to drift to a place where the veil between terrestrial history and cosmic possibility becomes exquisitely thin. What if ancient records exist not on vast monuments or in forgotten texts, but on small, unassuming objects, discs of stone that whisper tales of visitors from beyond our world, challenging the very notion of humanity's isolated journey through the cosmos? Tonight, we turn our attention to one of the most controversial and captivating mysteries of ancient China, the alleged Dropa stones. Imagine the hushed atmosphere of an archaeological expedition in 1938, deep within the remote, mist-shrouded Bayan-Karila Mountains on the border of China and Tibet. Professor Chipu Tay and his team reportedly discovered a series of caves containing graves of unusually small, fragile skeletons with abnormally large skulls. Alongside these peculiar remains, they found hundreds of stone discs, approximately 9 inches in diameter, each with a perfectly circular hole in its center and a spiraling groove radiating from the middle to the rim. These weren't mere decorative objects. Closer inspection revealed that the grooves were actually a continuous line of intricate hieroglyphic script, so tiny that it required a magnifying glass to decipher. For 2 decades, the discs remained an enigma stored away until the early 1960s, when Dr. Sum Amnui a Chinese scientist, reportedly began the painstaking process of deciphering their unique script. What he allegedly uncovered sent ripples of astonishment through the small circle of researchers involved. A story so extraordinary it challenged every accepted historical and cosmological paradigm. The discs, according to Dr. Sem's translation, told a chronicle of an extraterrestrial expedition that crash-landed in the Bayan-Karula Mountains some 12,000 years ago. The script recounted how the beings, called the Dropa, were peaceful visitors from a distant star system who came to Earth, only to be misunderstood and hunted by the local inhabitants, the Ham and the Dropa tribes. Some discs described the eventual acceptance and integration of these star people into the local communities, hinting at a shared existence and the transmission of knowledge. This narrative, if true, would be a profound rewriting of human history, suggesting ancient records of contact with beings from other star systems, implying a much longer and more complex history of cosmic interaction for humanity than is currently understood. It directly challenges our timeline by introducing an external, non-terrestrial factor into humanity's past, pushing the concept of ancient wisdom to an extreme and suggesting that some knowledge might have been literally gifted from the stars. The controversy surrounding the Dropa stones is immense. Mainstream archaeologists largely dismiss the story as an elaborate hoax, citing the lack of verifiable original documentation, the absence of independent confirmations of the discoveries, or translations, and the mysterious disappearance of key researchers. No physical evidence of the discs has ever been presented for rigorous scientific analysis by an independent body, making them a tantalizing but unproven mystery. Yet, the story persists, captivating minds and prompting enduring questions. What if the very reason for their obscurity and the difficulty in verification is precisely because their message is so profoundly disruptive to established timelines? The idea that such a crucial piece of cosmic history could be etched onto physical objects challenges us to consider what other ancient records might exist, waiting to be deciphered, holding similar, astonishing narratives. Even as a myth, the Dropa stone narrative reflects humanity's deep-seated wonder about our place in the universe, and the possibility that our origins are intertwined with the vastness of the cosmos. The narrative speaks to a sense of universal, hidden knowledge, hinting that perhaps some truths are too grand, too paradigm-shifting, to be easily accepted or widely known. The very act of contemplating the Dropa stones, regardless of their verifiable authenticity, expands our mental landscape of possibilities regarding ancient human cosmic interaction. It invites us to consider that the questions we ask about our past might need to extend far beyond our planet's atmosphere. These tales of cosmic visitors, even if whispered across the centuries through ambiguous fragments, bring us to ponder if ancient wisdom was indeed gifted from the stars, perhaps hidden within the very fabric of our earliest structures, awaiting the quiet revelation of dawn's first light. Newgrange, prehistoric sun trap, or cosmic timer. Our journey through humanity's deep past has now led us from the tantalizing whispers of cosmic visitors etched on ancient stones to the silent, enduring testament of monumental structures built with an astonishing precision that seems to trap the very light of the cosmos itself. What if certain ancient sites, long dismissed as mere burial grounds, were in fact sophisticated celestial instruments, meticulously engineered to align with the rhythms of the heavens, quietly challenging our understanding of prehistoric capabilities? Tonight we drift westward, across the gentle undulations of the Atlantic, to the Emerald Isle of Ireland, and to a site that stands as a profound sentinel of deep time, Newgrange. Imagine a vast grass-covered mound rising gently from the landscape, seemingly a natural hill, yet beneath its verdant surface lies a marvel of Neolithic engineering and astronomical insight. This colossal passage tomb, part of the Bear na Boyne complex in County Meath, dates back an astonishing over 5,200 years, making it older than Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids of Giza. Its age alone is a quiet whisper against the backdrop of conventional history, pushing back the timeline for organized communal labor, sophisticated architectural planning, and a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. Newgrange is not just a mound of earth and stone. It is a meticulously constructed circular monument, roughly 85 meters in diameter, with a long, narrow passage leading to a cruciform chamber at its heart. The true genius of its builders, however, lies in a seemingly small, yet profoundly significant feature: the roof box. This carefully constructed opening, positioned directly above the entrance to the passage, is oriented with such exquisite precision that for just a few precious minutes around the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, the rising sun's rays perfectly penetrate the passage, slowly illuminating the central chamber. This isn't a happy accident. It's a deliberate, ingenious design, requiring an intimate understanding of celestial mechanics and an astonishing ability to translate that knowledge into monumental architecture using only the simplest of tools. The fact that this alignment has remained effective for over 5 millennia, enduring the settling of Earth and the passage of countless seasons, speaks volumes about the original engineering and the profound purpose of the site. It functions as a highly accurate astronomical calendar and a magnificent light trap, transforming a seemingly dark tomb into a periodic sunlit sanctuary, marking the turning point of the solar year. This exquisite precision hints at a deep astronomical knowledge and an ancient reverence for timekeeping, far beyond the conventional understanding of prehistoric capabilities. What motivated these Neolithic people to dedicate such immense resources, moving massive stones, organizing labor, and executing such intricate astronomical calculations to create a monument that functioned as a giant cosmic clock? It suggests that the annual cycle of the sun, and particularly the profound moment of its rebirth at the winter solstice, held immense spiritual and practical significance. For an agrarian society, understanding the sun's cycles was critical for planting, harvesting, and survival. But at Newgrange, this understanding transcends mere utility. It becomes a sacred communion with the cosmos, a reaffirmation of life and renewal, perhaps even a symbolic journey for the departed souls within its chambers, guiding them towards the light. The careful choice of unworked stone, the intricate, megalithic art adorned with spirals and concentric circles patterns, often associated with cosmic phenomena and cyclical time within the passage and chamber, further suggests a deep cosmological worldview. These markings are not random. They are part of a language, perhaps, speaking of cosmic order and the eternal cycles observed in the night sky. Newgrange, therefore, challenges our timeline by showcasing a monumental, prehistoric structure functioning as a sophisticated astronomical calendar and light trap, pushing back the origins of complex celestial engineering by thousands of years in Western Europe. It reveals a level of scientific observation and societal organization that often goes unacknowledged for cultures of this antiquity. It reminds us that ancient humans were not primitive, but deeply connected to their environment and the heavens, capable of grand feats of engineering and profound insights into the rhythms of the universe. The silent light that penetrates its ancient heart once a year is a gentle whisper from a distant past, inviting us to reconsider the scope of humanity's early genius and its profound engagement with the cosmos. This ancient sun trap, perfectly marking cosmic time, leads us now to another circular complex, not of carved stone, but of massive earthworks, where precise celestial alignments tell a different, yet equally profound, story of cosmic order imprinted upon the land. The Archaeum Complex, Step Observatory City. Our journey through ancient cosmic wisdom has carried us from the sun-drenched passage of New Grange, a silent calendar marking winter's turning, to a different kind of ancient marvel, nestled in a vast and often overlooked landscape. What if an entire city, built thousands of years ago, was not merely a dwelling place, but a colossal instrument, its very architecture designed to meticulously track the celestial dance above, reshaping our understanding of early urban planning and astronomical prowess? Tonight, we drift gently towards the wind-swept Ural steppes of Russia, to an archaeological site known as Archaeum. Imagine a precisely engineered circular settlement, unearthed relatively recently in 1987, dating back approximately 4,000 years ago to the Bronze Age, from above. Its layout is striking. Two concentric walls of earth and timber form perfect circles, with 4 entrances that align precisely with the cardinal directions. Inside, radial walls create a wheel-spoke pattern of dwellings, all converging towards a central, open square. This isn't just a fortified village. Its geometric perfection and intricate design hint at something far more profound than simple habitation. The very discovery of Archaeum challenged conventional archaeological timelines for complex urban planning and advanced engineering in this region. Its sophisticated drainage systems, communal spaces, and intricate fortifications speak of an organized society with a high degree of communal effort and a clear vision. But what truly sets Archaeum apart, what elevates it from a mere settlement to a deep mystery, is its astonishing astronomical functionality. Researchers, particularly Dr. Konstantin Bistryshkin, have argued that Archaeum was not just a city, but a sophisticated astronomical observatory. Its precise layout, including its multiple entrances and the radial divisions of its inner structures, appears to have been meticulously calibrated to allow for highly accurate observations of solar and lunar events. For instance, the exact alignments of specific points within the complex with the sunrise and sunset positions on the solstices and equinoxes are far more numerous and precise than can be attributed to chance. Imagine ancient inhabitants moving through their city, using its very walls and gateways as sightlines to pinpoint the exact moment of the summer solstice sunrise or the winter solstice sunset. This integration of astronomical observation directly into urban design is a quiet testament to their profound connection with the cosmos. Beyond the major solar events, the layout of Archaeum also seems to track the more complex lunar cycles. The moon's path across the sky shifts over an 18.6-year cycle, and some theories suggest that specific vantage points within Archaeum's circular design could have been used to precisely mark these intricate lunar standstills. This level of precise celestial tracking, woven into the very fabric of their daily lives, indicates a scientific understanding that pushes the boundaries of what we attribute to Bronze Age cultures. It suggests that Archaeum's builders possessed not just empirical observation skills, but a deep theoretical knowledge of celestial mechanics, enabling them to construct a city that functioned as a giant, living calendar and observatory. The circular form itself, a ubiquitous symbol of cosmic cycles across many ancient cultures, further emphasizes this celestial connection. The deliberate cardinal entrances, aligning with key directions, suggest a cosmological worldview, where the city itself was a microcosm of the ordered universe. The construction methods, involving packed earth and timber, show a mastery of materials and a labor force capable of executing such a grand, precise design over decades or even generations. The enigma of Archaeum gently challenges our timeline by revealing a complex, organized city designed with advanced astronomical functionality in a region not typically associated with such ancient sophistication. It forces us to consider that sophisticated urban planning, intricately linked with celestial knowledge, may have emerged in unexpected places and at much earlier periods than currently acknowledged. It paints a picture of ancient societies deeply attuned to the rhythms of the cosmos, building their very homes and communities in harmony with the celestial dance. The silent stones and earthen walls of Archaeum whisper stories of a forgotten people whose lives were inextricably linked to the stars, guiding their endeavors, shaping their beliefs, and dictating the very layout of their world. From the careful observation of celestial bodies etched into the very design of this remarkable city, we now gently shift our focus to an ancient understanding of vast, rhythmic cycles that govern not just stars, but perhaps the very fabric of human consciousness itself, unfolding across immense, almost unfathomable, cosmic ages. The dendrolite, star lore, and hidden energies in bas-reliefs. Our exploration of Earth's celestial imprints has guided us from the precise cosmic clock of Archaeum to the quiet contemplation of ancient knowledge embedded in colossal structures. Now, we gently turn our focus back to the timeless sands of Egypt, not to its grand pyramids or vast temples as a whole, but to a very specific, enigmatic detail within one of its most sacred sites. What if ancient artistry, seemingly purely symbolic, actually encodes a hidden understanding of energy? A knowledge so profound it might be linked to celestial forces or even a technology far beyond what we typically attribute to the ancient world. Tonight, we drift towards the Hathor Temple at Dendera, a beautifully preserved complex renowned for its astronomical ceiling and intricate carvings. While the famous Dendera zodiac has offered glimpses into their sophisticated sky mapping, our attention is drawn to a series of controversial bas-reliefs found in the crypts beneath the main temple, often referred to as the Dendera light or Dendera lamps. Imagine descending into these cool, dimly lit subterranean chambers, where the air hangs heavy with the whispers of forgotten rituals. Along the walls, carved in exquisite detail, appear depictions that, to some modern eyes, bear an uncanny resemblance to giant light bulbs or Crookes tubes, complete with filaments, electrical cables, and even what looks like a generator or power source. These particular carvings depict figures, often priests or deities, holding what appears to be a large, elongated object resembling a light bulb, from which a serpent emerges, coiling towards a lotus flower. The bulb itself is supported by a jed pillar, an ancient Egyptian symbol of stability, sometimes interpreted as an insulator, and connected by a cable running along the floor. Above the entire scene, small figures are depicted, often interpreted as Ka or Ba souls, or air deities, seemingly interacting with the energy flow. Conventional Egyptology interprets these scenes symbolically, seeing the serpent as representing a deity, perhaps a form of Horus emerging from a lotus, symbolizing creation and renewal, and the jed pillar as representing stability and the backbone of Osiris. This interpretation aligns with the rich tapestry of Egyptian mythology and their profound symbolism. However, a more radical and captivating theory gently challenges this traditional view. What if these carvings are not merely symbolic, but represent a literal, visual depiction of ancient electrical technology? The proponents of this interpretation suggest that the ancient Egyptians possessed a practical understanding of electricity, perhaps generated through a method unknown to us, and used these lamps to illuminate their otherwise dark temples and crypts without the use of soot-producing torches, which would have blackened the pristine carvings over time. Indeed, the remarkably clean ceilings and walls of some deeply recessed Egyptian tombs and temples, which would have been impossible to illuminate effectively with open flame without leaving heavy soot deposits, lend a subtle, intriguing weight. To this alternative perspective, if these were indeed ancient electrical devices, their existence would profoundly challenge the simplicity often attributed to ancient Egyptian technology and their cosmic understanding. It would push back the boundaries of technological history by thousands of years, suggesting an engineering prowess far beyond what is currently accepted. Furthermore, proponents of the dendrolite theory often connect this supposed technological knowledge to a deeper understanding of celestial energy sources or cosmic phenomena. Could the serpent emanating from the bulb symbolize an energetic current, perhaps harnessing something akin to cosmic rays or other unseen forces emanating from the celestial realm? This interpretation links ancient technology directly to the law, suggesting that the Egyptians' profound astronomical observations might have extended to understanding the energetic properties of the cosmos, not just its movements. The Jed pillar, often connected to the Milky Way or the cosmic backbone in some esoteric traditions, could further imply a celestial origin or connection for this mysterious power source. This reinterpretation of ancient art as evidence of advanced scientific understanding, possibly tied to celestial energy sources, forces us to re-examine what constitutes science in the ancient world and how closely it might have been interwoven with what we now categorize as mythology or religion. It gently asks us to consider that our current historical narrative may have overlooked entire branches of ancient knowledge, particularly those that blend the practical with the cosmological in ways that defy our modern distinctions. The light remains a profound mystery, a quiet whisper from a distant past that continues to spark curiosity and debate. It encourages us to approach ancient artifacts with an open mind, searching not just for the familiar, but for the unexpected brilliance that might challenge our deepest assumptions about the past. Whether symbolic or technological, these enigmatic carvings invite a tranquil contemplation of the boundless ingenuity of ancient minds and their multifaceted relationship with the universe. These enigmatic carvings, hinting at hidden energies, now lead us to another form of ancient message, one etched into the very landscape of Earth itself. Speaking of cosmic forces and ancient intentions on a scale even grander than the monumental structures we've explored, we prepare to drift towards the sprawling earthworks that tell a silent story of celestial harmony, waiting patiently for us to decipher their ancient, deliberate design. The Rungarongo script, stellar messages on wooden tablets. Our exploration of Earth's celestial imprints has journeyed through monumental constructions that hint at hidden knowledge, from the light-capturing precision of Newgrains to the enigmatic energies hinted at in the Dendora reliefs. Now, our quiet contemplation leads us to one of the most remote and mysterious islands on Earth, where an undeciphered script carved onto wooden tablets might hold not just forgotten history, but cosmic secrets. What if an isolated culture, seemingly cut off from the rest of the world, developed a complex writing system that encoded profound astronomical observations, challenging our understanding of ancient communication and the global spread of knowledge. Tonight, we drift towards the windswept shores of Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, a tiny speck of land in the vast Pacific Ocean, famous for its colossal stone statues, the moai. But beyond these silent giants lies another, perhaps even deeper, mystery. The Rongorongo script. Imagine examining one of these precious wooden tablets, often irregularly shaped, salvaged from the island's dwindling forests. Carved meticulously into their surfaces are lines of unique, highly stylized glyphs, a system of hieroglyphs unlike any other known writing system. The script reads in an alternating direction, known as boustrophedon, where one line is read from left to right, and the next is flipped upside down and read from right to left. A fascinating intellectual puzzle in itself, discovered in the 19th century, after much of the island's population and knowledge had tragically dwindled due to external contact and environmental collapse. Only about 24 Rongorongo tablets survive today, scattered in museums around the world. The language they record, the people who wrote them, and their precise meaning remain one of archaeology's most persistent and captivating challenges. Numerous attempts at decipherment have been made, leading to various theories, yet no definitive breakthrough has been universally accepted. This persistent enigma gently invites us to consider possibilities beyond the conventional what if. The Rongorongo script is not merely a record of genealogies, chants, or mundane daily activities, but a sophisticated system deeply tied to celestial law. Imagine the ancient Rapa Nui, isolated yet profoundly connected to their environment, spending countless nights under the unpolluted Pacific sky. Their very survival depended on understanding the currents, the weather, and the stars for navigation and resource management. It is highly plausible, therefore, that their writing system, if it contained their most vital knowledge, would reflect this intimate relationship with the cosmos. Some theories suggest that the unique glyphs represent constellations, stars, or even a system for tracking planetary movements with remarkable precision. Certain recurring symbols, often interpreted as humanoid figures or birdmen, could be depictions of ancient skywatchers or beings associated with celestial bodies. If the script encodes astronomical observations, it would imply a level of advanced scientific literacy among the Rapa Nui that challenges their perceived isolation and limited resources. Such a system could have been used to predict lunar cycles, chart the rising and setting of significant stars, or even to record the subtle, long-term shifts in the cosmos, potentially mirroring the grand cycles we've explored in other ancient cultures. This connection to celestial mechanics would suggest a forgotten system of knowledge, passed down through generations on this remote island, a testament to humanity's inherent drive to understand the universe around it, regardless of geographical barriers. The unique nature of the script, so distinct from any other known writing, further supports the idea that it developed indigenously or from an extremely ancient, now lost, common source of knowledge, hinting at a much longer and richer intellectual tradition for the Rapa Nui people than conventionally understood. The decipherment of Rongorongo, should it ever fully occur, holds the potential to unlock not only the specific history and cosmology of Easter Island's enigmatic inhabitants, but also to provide a window into a form of ancient communication profoundly tied to celestial observation. It asks us to consider if this isolated culture, forced to rely entirely on its own ingenuity, developed a unique way of recording cosmic wisdom, a testament to human resilience and intellectual capacity even in the most challenging environments. These silent stories on wooden tablets, patiently awaiting their full translation, prompt us to reflect on the vast archives of unread knowledge that might still exist, waiting to be rediscovered across our planet. From the silent stories on these wooden tablets, which hint at deep celestial wisdom, our gaze now turns to the silent witnesses on Easter Island itself, the massive Moai figures which seem to embody a lost, profound celestial purpose forever, gazing out towards the horizon, perhaps towards stars that once guided their creators. The serpent mound, Ojai's effigy of cosmic cycles. Our exploration of Earth's celestial imprints has carried us across continents, from the precise light traps of New Grange and the enigmatic energies of Dendora to the silent, star-whispering tablets of Easter Island. Now, as our journey through ancient cosmic knowledge gently nears its end for this phase, we drift to a different kind of monumental artistry, not of carved stone or hidden script, but of earth itself, sculpted into a colossal form that embodies the very cycles of the cosmos. What of a vast earthwork created by an ancient culture in North America was not merely a symbolic effigy, but a living calendar, precisely aligned with the heavens, quietly challenging our understanding of indigenous astronomical sophistication. Tonight, we turn our gaze to the lush landscape of southern Ohio, to the enigmatic Serpent Mound. Imagine standing before an immense earthen sculpture, uncoiling across the landscape like a giant, primordial serpent. This remarkable effigy mound, stretching over 1,300 feet, approximately 400 meters in length, is a marvel of ancient engineering and artistic expression. Its winding, serpentine body culminates in an oval head at one end and a coiled tail at the other, all crafted from carefully piled earth. While its precise builders are debated, it is generally attributed to the Fort Ancient culture or, less certainly, the Adena culture, dating back approximately 1,000 years ago, though some theories suggest an even older origin, potentially reaching back over 3,000 years. The sheer scale of the Serpent Mound suggests an immense communal effort and a profound reverence for the creature it represents. But its true mystery lies beyond its form. It lies in its incredibly precise astronomical alignments. Researchers have meticulously studied the mound's orientation, revealing that its winding curves and key features align directly with significant solar and lunar events. For instance, the serpent's head points towards the summer solstice, sunset, while its tail is aligned with the winter solstice sunrise. Furthermore, specific curves and coils along its body correspond to the equinox sunrises. This isn't a coincidence. It reflects a deliberate, sophisticated design by people who possessed a deep, empirical understanding of celestial mechanics. Imagine the ancient builders, perhaps over generations, observing the sun's path across the horizon, meticulously marking its extreme positions throughout the year, and then translating that knowledge into this colossal, living calendar carved into the very earth. This profound connection to cosmic cycles would have been invaluable for an agricultural society, providing precise timing for planting, harvesting, and seasonal rituals. But it transcends mere practicality. It speaks of a worldview where the earth and the heavens were intimately connected, where the land itself mirrored the cosmic order beyond the major solar events. Some studies suggest even more complex alignments, potentially linking the Serpent Mound to lunar cycles and the positions of specific stars or constellations. The winding coils could represent the phases of the moon, or perhaps the serpentine paths of planets across the sky. This level of intricate astronomical knowledge and its embedding into such a vast earthwork challenges our conventional timeline of sophisticated celestial mapping by indigenous peoples in North America. It quietly suggests a scientific understanding and engineering capability that often goes unacknowledged in mainstream history. The construction of the mound, without metal tools or modern surveying equipment, required an astonishing level of planning, coordination, and communal effort, reflecting a highly organized and deeply knowledgeable society. The spiritual significance of the serpent itself, a powerful symbol across many ancient cultures, often associated with creation, renewal, and the cyclical nature of time, further deepens its mystery. In many traditions, the serpent is a guardian of sacred knowledge, a creature of the earth that also sheds its skin to renew itself. Mirroring the cycles of celestial bodies, the serpent mound stands as a silent, enduring testament to a profound astronomical knowledge and a deep connection. Two cosmic cycles held by an ancient North American culture. It implies a sophisticated understanding of landscape integration, where human creations were not separate from nature, but designed to harmonize with the fundamental rhythms of the universe. This colossal serpent, eternally tracking the sky, through its earthen form, makes us gently ponder if ancient builders across the globe possessed a shared, deep wisdom about the cosmos, perhaps encoded in subtle yet profound ways across diverse cultures and landscapes. It suggests that humanity's journey to understand the heavens is far older and far more interconnected than our textbooks often imply. As we leave this great serpent under the quiet night sky, we are left to wonder about these universal threads of knowledge connecting distant lands and forgotten times. The Viminasium Stargate, Roman astronomical anomaly. Our exploration of Earth's celestial imprints has carried us through vast earthworks and ancient scripts, revealing profound cosmic knowledge embedded in unexpected places. Now, as we transition into the final phase of our journey, we encounter an artifact that quietly challenges our understanding of a familiar historical period, suggesting that even within well-documented civilizations, hidden streams of advanced knowledge may have flowed. What if a recently unearthed object, dating to the Roman era, whispers not of empire and legions, but of stars and complex celestial mechanics, hinting at a technological sophistication we rarely attribute to that time? Tonight, we drift towards the ancient city of Viminasium, a significant Roman military camp and provincial capital located in modern-day Serbia. Here, amidst the remains of a bustling city that once thrived on the banks of the Danube, archaeologists have made intriguing discoveries that extend beyond typical Roman artifacts. Among these finds, a peculiar bronze object has captured the imagination of researchers, some dubbing it a stargate due to its intricate design and astrological connotations. Imagine a small, complex mechanism crafted from bronze, perhaps no larger than the palm of your hand, composed of a series of interlocking gears, dials, and cryptic symbols. Unlike the utilitarian tools or decorative items typically found at Roman sites, this artifact seems to possess a purpose far more intricate, suggesting a mastery of precision engineering and astronomical calculation that feels remarkably out of place for its supposed age. While no official, universally accepted designation or detailed analysis of this specific Stargate artifact from Viminasium has been widely published in mainstream archaeological literature, often leaving such terms to popular interpretation, the concept it evokes draws upon the known, albeit rare, examples of sophisticated Roman astronomical instruments. The most famous comparison, though much larger and more complex, is the Antikythera mechanism, a Hellenistic Kira device, often called the world's first analog computer, used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. The existence of such a sophisticated device from an earlier period naturally raises questions about a broader, perhaps less acknowledged, tradition of advanced scientific knowledge. If the Vimanasium artifact indeed possessed complex bronze gears and astrological symbols, as popular descriptions suggest, it would lead us to investigate interpretations that it represents a portable astronomical calculator or a device for tracking specific celestial alignments. Such an instrument would allow its user to determine the positions of planets, the sun, and the moon against the backdrop of constellations, or perhaps even predict specific celestial events like conjunctions or eclipses, vital for astrological prognostication, religious ceremonies, or even navigation. The Romans, while renowned for their civil engineering and military prowess, are not typically celebrated for their abstract scientific innovations in the same vein as the Greeks or later Islamic scholars. Yet, such an artifact, if confirmed to be a functional celestial calculator, would hint at a hidden stream of advanced knowledge within Roman engineering and intellectual circles. It would imply that beyond their practical applications, a select few possessed a deep theoretical understanding of the cosmos, perhaps inherited from older civilizations or developed through their own quiet, meticulous observation. This kind of device challenges the timeline by showcasing an advanced technological object from a familiar historical period, whose complexity points to a forgotten or secretly preserved scientific tradition connected intimately to the stars. It invites us to consider that Roman society, often viewed through the lens of its vast empire and practical achievements, may have also harbored a subtle yet profound interest in the intricate dance of the heavens, influencing philosophical thought, astrological practices, and perhaps even state decisions. The very craftsmanship required to create such precise bronze gears and to imbue them with astronomical accuracy speaks volumes about the skill of its makers, suggesting a class of artisans and thinkers whose contributions to scientific understanding have been largely overlooked. The notion of a stargate is, of course, a poetic interpretation, but it reflects the profound impact such a device would have had on its users, effectively opening a window to the cosmic movements that govern time and destiny. It suggests a tool that allowed ancient individuals to connect personally and precisely with the celestial realm, bringing the vastness of the universe down to a portable, understandable scale. This quiet mystery from Vimanasium encourages us to remain open to the unexpected brilliance of ancient minds, reminding us that true innovation often lies hidden beneath the surface of conventional historical narratives, waiting for a gentle inquiry to bring it to light. This unexpected Roman device, a silent testament to hidden precision, reminds us that knowledge sometimes hides in plain sight, or indeed in the very structure of ancient stories that, on the surface, seem to be mere myths, yet hold deeper truths about humanity's past and its interaction with cosmic events. We now turn to one such story, a dramatic tale that might encode a forgotten celestial warning. The myth of Phaeton, a comet's ancient warning, our journey through humanity's hidden cosmic history has unveiled intricate devices and monumental alignments that speak of forgotten knowledge. As we continue to drift towards a synthesis of these revelations, we now turn our attention to the ancient narratives themselves. What if seemingly fantastical myths passed down through generations are not merely allegories or moral tales, but veiled memories of dramatic cosmic events that once reshaped our planet, serving as ancient warnings encoded within the very fabric of storytelling. Tonight, we gently re-examine a poignant and dramatic tale from Greek mythology, the myth of Phaeton. Imagine, for a moment, the sun god, Helios, driving his magnificent chariot across the sky, bringing light and warmth to the world, his son. Phaeton, eager to prove himself, pleads to drive the fiery steeds for just one day. Despite Helios's dire warnings, Phaeton insists. The story recounts how, once in control, the inexperienced youth loses command of the horses. The sun chariot deviates wildly from its accustomed path, veering too close to Earth in some accounts, too far in others, causing widespread devastation. Forests ignite, rivers boil, crops wither, and the very ground cracks open, threatening to consume all life. To prevent total annihilation, Zeus, the king of the gods, is forced to strike Phaeton down with a thunderbolt, sending him plummeting into the Eridanus River, thus restoring order to the cosmos, but leaving a world scarred by fire and desolation. On the surface, this is a powerful cautionary tale about hubris and the dangers of wielding power without wisdom. Yet, as we gently explore its deeper layers, the striking imagery of global cataclysm, celestial deviation, and widespread environmental destruction resonates with interpretations that suggest something far more literal, a cultural memory of a major cometary impact or a catastrophic celestial event. Consider the consistent themes across various ancient cultures of a time when the sky itself seemed to fall or when fire rained from above. The details in the Phaeton myth, the scorching of earth, the drying of oceans, the turning of human skin dark, a detail often interpreted as explaining the origins of dark-skinned peoples, and the disruption of the celestial order line, remarkably well with the potential consequences of a near-Earth object impact or a massive meteor shower. If this myth, and others like it from different traditions, are indeed echoes of such events, it would profoundly challenge our understanding of ancient Earth's history, pushing back the timeline for global cataclysms and the human witnessing of such events. It implies that ancient peoples possessed not just a superstitious fear of the heavens, but a keen observational capacity that allowed them to recognize and record extraordinary celestial phenomena, even if that record was then transmuted into myth. This perspective suggests that ancient myths encode astronomical warnings of past cataclysms, implying an ancient understanding of cosmic threats and a much older record of such events than we typically acknowledge. The slow pace of scientific understanding often leads us to view prehistoric humans as simple, unconcerned with the grander cosmic dangers. However, if their survival depended on recognizing patterns in the sky, then a truly devastating celestial event would have been seared into their collective memory, passed down as a crucial, if allegorical, warning. The Phaeton myth might be a form of cosmic storytelling, a way to transmit vital information about profound dangers across vast spans of time, keeping the memory of such potential events alive for future generations. It reminds us that ancient wisdom was not always conveyed through explicit scientific treatises, but often through narratives, symbols, and rituals that held multiple layers of meaning. The very act of the sun chariot deviating from its path speaks to a deep awareness of celestial order and the profound chaos that ensues when that order is disturbed, perhaps even representing a recognition of the delicate balance of our solar system. This gentle re-examination of the Phaeton myth allows us to philosophically accept a challenged timeline, one where ancient peoples were not just passive observers of nature, but active interpreters of cosmic warnings. It suggests that our ancestors lived with a far greater awareness of Earth's vulnerability within the vast cosmos than our modern, often insulated lives might suggest. The dramatic imagery within the myth serves as a quiet, enduring whisper from a distant past, urging us to consider the profound implications of ancient knowledge, even when presented in the guise of fantastical tales. These dramatic tales of celestial chaos, embedded deep within human culture, make us wonder if certain knowledge was purposefully hidden, not just in these symbolic stories or in grand physical objects, but within the very earth itself, in chambers, and networks waiting patiently to reveal their ancient secrets. We prepare to drift into the quiet darkness of the subterranean, to explore networks that might hold clues to forgotten civilizations seeking refuge or connection with cosmic energies. The subterranean networks, starlight seekers in the deep. Our journey through humanity's hidden cosmic history has quietly woven through ancient devices and mythical warnings, leading us to contemplate how celestial events might have shaped our past. Now, as we draw closer to a fuller understanding, we gently descend beneath the Earth's surface into a realm often overlooked, yet potentially holding secrets as profound as those found under the open sky. What if global legends and whispers of vast, ancient subterranean networks are not mere folklore, but distant memories of immense, hidden infrastructures built not just for refuge, but with an unexpected connection to the very stars above? Tonight, we explore the intriguing concept of subterranean networks, a topic that often resides at the edges of archaeological investigation, but resonates deeply within ancient traditions and modern anecdotal reports. Imagine intricate labyrinths of tunnels, vast underground cities, and interconnected chambers stretching for miles beneath continents. From the famous underground cities of Derinkuyu and Kamakok in Cappadocia, Turkey, capable of housing tens of thousands of people, to the legendary Agartha in Himalayan lore, or the extensive cave systems around the world often associated with ancient habitation, the notion of humanity taking refuge or even thriving beneath the surface is a recurring theme across cultures. While many known subterranean structures served practical purposes like defense, storage, or ritual, what if some of these were built with a far grander cosmic intention? Consider theories that suggest certain networks were connected to celestial alignments, used for astronomical observation from protected vantage points. In an era where the surface might have been subject to intense celestial phenomena, perhaps the very cosmic upheavals hinted at by myths like Phaeton, or periods of increased radiation from distant stellar events going underground, might have offered both physical protection and a unique opportunity for uninterrupted celestial study. Imagine ancient stargazers, perhaps inheritors of a profound cosmic understanding, observing the heavens from deep within sheltered chambers, filtering out atmospheric interference, or protecting themselves from a sky that occasionally held unpredictable dangers. The careful construction of ventilation, shafts, and light wells in known underground cities points to sophisticated engineering for basic survival. But could some of these shafts have also served as precisely aligned conduits for observing specific stars or constellations, acting as subterranean observatories shielded from surface disturbances? This challenges the timeline by suggesting complex, hidden subterranean infrastructures, built for purposes that align with astronomical protection or observation during periods of potential cosmic threat, pushing back the origins of such specialized engineering. Furthermore, some legends speak of these networks as places of refuge during great floods or fiery aerial events, which aligns beautifully with the idea of ancient peoples seeking shelter from cosmic catastrophes. If ancient star charts, as we've explored, hinted at such tumultuous periods, then the construction of vast, complex underground sanctuaries would be a logical and highly sophisticated response. The very act of building deep beneath the earth implies a long-term strategy, a deep knowledge of geology, and an immense communal effort, suggesting societies far more organized and forward-thinking than typically assumed for prehistoric times. These aren't just simple caves. Many are excavated into solid rock with precision, often exhibiting advanced tunnel-boring techniques that baffle modern engineers. The sheer scale of some alleged or partially explored networks suggests a global phenomenon, hinting at a shared knowledge or a response to widespread cosmic or terrestrial events. The existence of such hidden structures, shrouded in both geology and legend, offers a soothing yet profound possibility that even when the surface world was chaotic or dangerous, humanity, or a predecessor civilization, preserved knowledge and continued its celestial observations from a protected, unseen realm. This reinforces the idea that true wisdom can survive beyond surface civilizations, waiting patiently in the silent depths. It gently prompts us to wonder what other secrets the earth holds within its quiet embrace. Beneath our feet, where ancient light may still guide seekers of lost knowledge. From the depths of the earth, where ancient secrets slumber and cosmic history is subtly recorded, we now turn to the grand, overarching narrative of humanity's true cosmic journey, guided by the silent whispers of the stars themselves. We prepare to synthesize these threads of wonder, contemplating the ultimate purpose of these ancient revelations and humanity's profound place in a grander, unwritten cosmic story. The out-of-place artifacts and stellar origins of genius, our journey through humanity's unwritten cosmic history, has gently guided us through subterranean whispers and mythical warnings, prompting us to reconsider what lies beneath the surface of accepted timelines. Now, as we draw ever closer to a synthesizing understanding, we cast a broader, tranquil gaze upon a collection of objects that simply do not seem to belong to their supposed historical periods. What if these enigmatic items, often dismissed as anomalies, are not merely curiosities, but tangible echoes of a forgotten past, hinting at technological capabilities or sources of knowledge that transcend our conventional understanding of human development, perhaps even touched by something beyond our world? Tonight, we explore the captivating realm of out-of-place artifacts, OOPARTs, a term used to describe objects discovered in contexts that suggest a far greater technological sophistication or historical presence than current archaeological or geological timelines allow. Imagine encountering artifacts like the Klerksdorp spheres, small, perfectly spherical or flattened oblate spheroids with parallel grooves around their equators, found embedded in pyrophyllite deposits in South Africa, some dated to an astonishing 2.8 billion years ago, while conventional geology explains them as natural concretions. Their uncanny precision and distinct grooves continue to invite more profound questions about their origin, gently probing the boundaries of natural formation versus intelligent design in unimaginably ancient rock. Could something so precisely formed, so perfectly grooved, truly be a random geological occurrence? Or does it hint at processes or intelligences operating on scales of time we can barely comprehend? Then there is the Koso artifact, a seemingly ordinary spark plug encased within a geode, discovered in California in 1961, which was estimated to be at least 500,000 years old based on the geological formation surrounding it. while skeptics suggest it was simply a modern spark plug that fell into a crevice and became quickly encrusted. The tight formation of its encasement and the geological context provided by the discoverers continue to invite gentle wonder. If truly encased within such an ancient geode, its presence challenges the entire timeline of human technological development, suggesting an advanced understanding of metallurgy and electrical ignition far predating industrial humanity. Similarly, consider the Baghdad Battery, an ancient artifact discovered in Iraq in 1938, dating back to the Parthian era around 250 BCE to 224 CE. This simple clay jar, containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod, when filled with an acidic electrolyte like grape juice, can produce a small electrical current. While its original purpose is debated, perhaps for electroplating, medicinal pain relief, or ritualistic static electricity, its potential as an ancient battery suggests a rudimentary understanding of electrochemical principles far ahead of its time, centuries before Alessandro Volta's official invention of the battery. These artifacts, though varied in their nature and origins, share a common thread. They seem to possess knowledge or capabilities that conventional history dictates shouldn't exist in their given periods. The very existence of these oerparts forces us to gently recalibrate our understanding of humanity's historical capabilities. How could such objects appear in contexts that defy established timelines for technological development? This leads to fascinating philosophical inquiries. Could some of these anomalies imply non-terrestrial influence, suggesting that advanced knowledge was introduced to Earth in a very distant past by visitors from other star systems? Or do they point to a pre-existing, forgotten source of advanced knowledge from an older, lost terrestrial civilization, perhaps one that thrived and then receded, leaving behind only these tantalizing fragments of its genius? This echoes our earlier contemplation of the Cosmic Chronograph, or the sophisticated knowledge embedded in the Vedic Yugas, where the cyclical nature of time suggests the rise and fall of advanced epochs. Perhaps ancient star charts, or a profound cosmic awareness, as depicted in the Eridu Genesis, or hinted at in the alignments of the Serpent Mound, were not just observations of the heavens, but also records of interactions or inheritances from a lineage of greater knowledge. The genius evident in these artifacts, then, might not be an isolated, spontaneous terrestrial invention, but a re-emergence of principles once known, or a subtle influence from a source beyond our current understanding. These scattered fragments of impossible ingenuity serve as quiet, persistent reminders that our historical narrative is likely incomplete, perhaps intentionally or unintentionally so. They invite us to embrace a sense of wonder at the vast unknowns of our past and the profound possibilities for humanity's true origins and development. The contemplation of oerparts encourages a philosophical acceptance of a challenged timeline, gently pushing our minds to consider that the story of Earth and its inhabitants is far more intricate, more interconnected with cosmic forces, and infinitely more mysterious than we have traditionally believed. These scattered fragments of impossible ingenuity, touched by something ancient and grand, lead us to the final, unifying contemplation of the cosmic timeline that now truly challenges our understanding, bringing all these threads of wonder into a single, profound realization about our place in the universe. The silent constellations, your own unwritten story, our tranquil journey through the Earth's hidden cosmic history has gently carried us through enigmatic artifacts, monumental structures, and whispers of forgotten knowledge, each discovery a soft brushstroke on a grander, more complex canvas of the past. We have contemplated the silent precision of the cosmic chronograph, stretched our minds to the immense cycles of the Vedic Yugas, observed the subtle wisdom embedded in the Karnak alignments, and peered into the possible aerial perspective of the rigid structure. We've unrolled the xenomap, hinting at forgotten global navigations, and allowed the Hyperborean myth to suggest a different planetary past. We have even dared to wonder if the Saqqara bird once glided on ancient winds, or if the Dendera light illuminated forgotten technologies before touching upon the controversial whispers of the Dropa stones and their tales of star visitors. Beneath our feet, the subterranean networks hinted at havens from cosmic threats, and the out-of-place artifacts quietly challenged the very bedrock of our technological timelines. Each of these gentle inquiries, like a quiet breath in the vastness of time, consistently points towards a profound and recurring theme. Humanity possessed a deep, intricate cosmic awareness far earlier than our conventional history suggests. As the final echoes of these celestial revelations settle around you, recognize the comforting truth that history is not a rigid, unchanging text, but a living, breathing story, constantly unfolding, always inviting new interpretations. The evidence we have gently explored, from the precisely aligned stones of New Grange and the stellar city of Archaeum, to the cosmic symbolism of the Serpent Mound, collectively paints a picture of a past rich with astronomical understanding, ingenious engineering, and a philosophical connection to the universe that permeates cultures across the globe and through the deepest reaches of time. This profound ancient wisdom was not merely about tracking stars for practical purposes, but about understanding humanity's place within a vast cyclical cosmos, where the movements of celestial bodies deeply influenced life on Earth, guiding our ancestors, inspiring their creations, and perhaps even warning them of impending change. It encourages a philosophical acceptance of a more complex, layered past, one where civilizations might have risen and fallen with the grand rhythm of cosmic ages, leaving behind only tantalizing fragments for us to discover. The true beauty lies not in having all the answers, but in the peaceful contemplation of these enduring mysteries, allowing them to expand our sense of what is possible, both for humanity's past and its future. It is in the quiet act of wondering about these ancient star charts, these lost technologies, and these forgotten stories, that we truly connect with the timeless flow of cosmic mystery. We understand that some truths are meant to gently drift in the currents of eternity, illuminating pathways for future contemplation, inviting successive generations to rediscover them in their own time. This journey into the unwritten cosmos offers a profound sense of peace, reinforcing that our existence is part of something infinitely grander, a vast narrative whispered by the constellations above. The universe, in its boundless expanse, holds countless secrets, and our own planet carries the imprints of a history far richer and more intricate than we typically perceive. Allow the comforting thought that the answers may lie not in definitive pronouncements, but in the continuous, gentle act of questioning, of seeking, and of being open to the magnificent unknown. The very act of listening, of allowing these ancient whispers to settle into your thoughts, is a connection to that deeper wisdom as you drift now. Enveloped by the tranquility of these cosmic questions, know that this exploration is just one gentle chapter in a boundless story. If these journeys into Earth's hidden cosmic history have brought a sense of wonder and peace to your mind, consider gently sharing this calm narration with others who might find solace in its depths. A soft, like a quiet comment, sharing your thoughts on these mysteries, or a tranquil subscription to our channel helps these ancient whispers reach more quiet souls. It reinforces the idea that the pursuit of understanding, even when answers remain elusive, is a beautiful and profoundly human endeavor. May the gentle currents of the stars and the wisdom of time's unseen chapters gently carry you into the deepest, most peaceful dreams, where your own unwritten story may find harmony with the grand cosmic narrative. Good night.